General!
Missile infantry at your command! Jupiter gives us strength! On watch! Levies! Hold position!
By your command! Romans, ready for duty! Spearmen, ready for orders!
General!
Plebs! Proud Romans all! Roma! Romans ready for duty! Orders?
Hold, Romans all! Or by the gods, I will fling myself off in despair at our lack of courage. We can hold this place.
Alright, so let's go with the voice. Totally forgot to activate my mic there. So this is actually another episode of my campaign with the Romans. And I'll be defending this town from the Germans. The Germans factions have been so far the hardest to fight against. Not so much because they have quality troops, but it's mostly because they have been very numerous in some case. Because they haven't expanded, they haven't declared war on as many factions as other factions did. So they end up having a good focus on their defense, while many other factions were not in that case. For example, the Greek proved to be a very easy target because they had armies in the Middle East. I'm not sure what they were doing there. Also, there was some faction of the Far East which have units in Greece, so go figure. Sometimes the campaign leadership of those AI seem a little questionable. So they finally managed to burn the door. They seem much more effective than me. But fortunately I managed to rout a few. I probably should move a few of my troops off the gate, because sometimes when the gate fall, it kills the troops which are on top, which is some physical element of the game that I don't really understand. So here I'm deploying my Rorari without putting them into a square formation. That's because somebody told me on one of my videos in the comments that the box formation doesn't change anything when defending a town, so I'm putting that to the test, and we'll see how it goes. And to really apply those skirmisher on the walls there. And hello to the 5 viewers I have so far. Let's hope that your rank will grow up. And if you have any question or any proposition of strategy or ambition for my campaign, feel free to tell me. I'm checking all the comments. By the way, I'm pretty much checking all the comments on all my videos all the time. I'm not necessarily answering everybody, but I read everything because it's usually it's a commenting which is humanly possible to read. I also have some tools to do so, which are really practical. I'm able to keep track of all the comments on my videos. I'm actually not sure which city that is. This is a city which is in probably south or middle, yeah, south part of Germania. And this is a Germanic faction. So we're in that area. I'm defending against, this is a rebel army, I believe. Or maybe not. Actually, this is the remains of an army, I think. Of a faction, because they lost their last town. So that's why they are attacking this place. I don't have many defender, but in this case my walls now have artillery, and it seemed to be killing quite a few enemies. Also my javelin are up there, seem to be doing their work very well against these guys. On top of that, right now only my Rorari are fighting. But in the back here, I do have some Legionnaire in good armor, so... But so far I haven't had to use them, and I think that's a victory. So I guess I'll be able to answer which town that was very soon, as we get back to the campaign. So that was the town of Vesotio. That are T, by the way. Yes, that's Visontio. Ah, that's like it. Where was that? Guess we'll figure that out at the end of the turn. And previously I destroyed, I believe, most of the towns of that faction which attacked me. And it was in the live broadcast of yesterday. And now we're being attacked. Here, oh yeah, these are rebels which I'm expecting to attack me since a long time. What's interesting here is that my garrison actually has pretty good troops. So that will be an interesting fight. I'll do it. Sometimes rebel army end up being more powerful than regular army. Yeah, those walls are really dangerous. But sadly in this case here, Battle of Malva, I do not have that kind of wall. That means that, as the saying goes, men are the city's strongest wall. Okay, well, let's see. Kind of very likely that the AI will attack me using that path. By the way, where's this? Here? Or maybe not. Maybe they will sneak around there. I'm thinking either I defend this entry here, which they won't have any choice but to use. And that seemed to be the most logical place to defend. So I will do that.
Legionary cohort.
I have legionary cohorts. With these I can probably defeat the entire enemy army. And I actually have a general here. I mean that I do have some kind of army in there. I don't remember. I guess we'll rediscover this when we're done with the battle from this end of turn. And I guess at the end of this battle I will likely do a tour of my empire, because the last few episodes have been many hours long each. So I guess it's an interesting thing to start this live stream with a briefing about the situation globally. So here I'm using my Rorari as a bumper. It will absorb all the energy of the enemy armies. And if they get in trouble, my legionnaires will come and support them.
We are the shields of our people today, and we will endure this onslaught. Our foes are men of little worth and less courage, so we need have no fear.
Yeah, have no fear.
Resolution.
As you can see, these are late legionnaires in the game. I don't think there's any more upgrade to these. So they have good armor. Some of them are still using some chain mail. I'm not sure why. Probably to break the uniformity of the unit. Or it might be a result of having the close combat mod. I'm not sure. Instead of staring at my awesome army, I will take a look at the enemy army. So here we have, what's that? Noble horsemen. Oh, these guys seem to be proper lancer, which means that my spearmen might be useful. Here they have a lot of Dacian bowmen, which will prove to be very dangerous. Some folksmen, which have a very dangerous weapon. I think with that weapon they used to nearly cut the Roman shield. So that's why the Roman reinforced the shield in that region. So they are, while they don't have much armor, these guys are probably dangerous nonetheless. Look like a bunch of peasants, but I don't think I should underestimate them. They do have a pretty big helmet there. And for some reason, in many cases, the rebel end up being more dangerous than any regular faction. But that might change over time with the patch of the game. We'll see. I'll speed up the time a little. I just hope that they won't go around here. Please don't do that. Yes, come my way. Good boy. Of course, they do have a lot of bowmen, and I only have javeliner, which make them have a small edge on me in terms of range capacity. Fortunately, they don't seem particularly motivated at firing from afar. They're using fire arrows. My general is under attack. I don't want shield wall, I want testudo. Or actually even better, defensive testudo. My Rorari are now engaging. They are certainly not the best unit to do that. Would have preferred if they just stood there a little more. Now we'll just switch. Okay, well, apparently the defensive testudo cannot do much about the direction it's facing. Well, let's see, the combat is even. And it's because the enemy is actually engaging my force with bowmen. I think they're trying to confuse me a little. But I don't think it's working yet. Let's see what kind of bonus this formation gives. Defensive. Unit raise the armor strength, shield strength. Well, they seem to be resisting pretty well. Where are these guys going? I suppose that I should disable the function of skirmish mode of my skirmisher. So far my Rorari has been fighting very well. This is rather surprising. But they are losing. So I suppose that perhaps I should do something about that. So what I'll do first is I will send more Rorari. So they will hold the formation here. And with my Legionnaire cohort, I will move around. And I will try to engage the rest of the enemy army. I guess I'll should as well engage both my group. Yeah. I will charge into the enemy main body here, which is all bunched up, so it's a perfect target for my flexible legionnaires. Hopefully those legionnaires will do short work of all those light troops. They seem rather dangerous nonetheless. As I told you, probably should not underestimate them. Okay, I'm pushing forward here. And we'll bring my velites not far behind, as well as my levies. We're fighting in there. The Legionnaires seem to be doing a good job. Oh, this guy is tall. Actually, usually the Barbarian are much taller. Which is actually historically accurate, because the Barbarian would eat much more meat from hunting. But they were not as numerous though, normally. And of course, the meat usually make you taller. Eat a lot of that. Well, the reason why I have such a garrison is I seem to have a general here, which is Gaius Triarius. So, I seem to have an army, but I don't know why I have 2 legionary cohort. I guess I don't remember after the thing I did yesterday in the campaign, so we'll see. Probably that I have a legion with a general and a couple of velites. But he's spear. Well, that's a good garrison. I wish. I think what I will do if I was a developer of this game would be to increase the strength of Garrison. Because I find that most Garrison are not particularly interesting to fight with or fight against. That will make Garrison very strong. And that means that your army should become much stronger as well. That could make the battle or the game campaign much more interesting. They seem to bring some spear here. Order my legionnaire to chase those down. Actually, they seem to be routed. Victory. I guess at the end of the turn, we'll check how kind of garrison was that. And I killed 1,888 and lost 154. That was a little easier than I expected, actually. And that was the Battle of Malva. Kill them. Yeah, the Dacian used to be pretty powerful. Or scary. Okay, now let's go see what's going on in my empire, because I have no idea. So the fight that happened earlier in the town was here, I believe. Maybe elsewhere. See? Any town now. Might have been here. Yeah, it was here. It was this army here. Which I will try to dispose of with that legion here.
Forgive me. Leave none alive.
So that will be the end of that army for good. Go. Executing them.
Ready for further orders. Ready for battle. At once.
That region here, that's not hostile. Well, let's take a look at how chaotic my situation is. I think that's the most useful vision ever. So you can see here, this is my public order. I don't care. Let's get diplomatic. So you can see here that my ally has part of Britain, but we seem to have lost one town here. Might be a good opportunity to go there and grab it. I might do that. I seem to have a legion which is available here. I'm still at war with those horse guy here. I still have 2 province, but as you can see, I have 3, 4, or 5, depending where you want to go. 5 legions around there, so I should be able to take care of that. Here I will move north with that legion and conquer this place. Now let's see. Now you can see the Seleucid Empire is very big and dense. That might be a challenging fight, but I do have a piece, or these 2 legion probably, and 3 legion here, which might be in good position to attack from there. While here in the Middle East, I have my auxiliary legion, which are being built, and they are also in good position to expand either toward the west or the east, depending the need. And I'm still at war with those guys here. They still have 2 province, and I will have to take care of that. I have a fleet which is making its way to the Black Sea, I believe. And I have a few neutral, well, allies within my territory, which I won't necessarily destroy. There's a faction here which is neutral, and probably an enemy of my ally, so I might take the opportunity to go get rid of them since they only have 1 territory. And what else? Now you can see that this is the Drangiana, and these guys are really extended. Look at that. They have that province here, that province here, that province here, and that province in Macedon. Go figure what they're doing there. It went all the way from there to there. Worse than me going from there to there. So I did not miss much so far. I just fought 2 defensive battles, so it wasn't particularly challenging, and they were not as great as my usual defeats, which are the best show ever. And what else?
Ready for battle.
I guess I should think about expanding or securing Germania now. That's probably one of my priority at the moment, because you know, keeping troops around here is expensive, and it also slowed down my expansion to the east. But first of all, I also need to perhaps take advantage of the fact that there's a faction here that took some ground. So I will actually go all the way there and hopefully defeat them. Here I do have a fleet, which I might as well send to water around here, because there's a lot of fleets. And since I will anyway end up at war with those guys at some point, I might as well move my fleet already. This way it will be on position. The war start. I also have another fleet which is right here. Move them toward the zone which I'm expecting to fight in the future. We might actually have sea battle. But to be honest, personally, the sea battle in Rome 2 make no sense at all. So, as you saw perhaps in the previous episode with a big blob of ship which don't do anything special. Okay, here is are the people happy? Because what make you expand or not is usually, are the people happy in your territory? And if they are, well, that's good. That means you can expand. If they're not, well, you're still stuck there. So you will need to keep your legion around, and that's not necessarily what you want to do in the context of perpetual expansion.
Ready for battle.
Okay, there's an army here which is camping in a fort. Actually, 2 armies here. I think I will attack that army. They are in a fort. And that's perfect for me, because that means that I will... well, first of all, they won't flee. They won't take any open field position. So I'm focusing my energy in the fort. So they're really doing me a favor by entrenching themselves. And this is a kind of Germanic army as well. And dry stuff.
Missiles ready and waiting.
Throwing my velites in front.
Legionary cohort.
I guess I will send my legionaries first. Make the enemy tired. As well as to burn the towers around the place. I don't think there's any cavalry or anything else that will come in reinforcements, so this will be a pretty straightforward fight, and my troops will most likely simply kill everything one after the other. Oh, there's a wolf here. Whoops. Where is he going? Oh, there's even a pack here. Wolf. Okay, so we'll simply move there. Usually the way this kind of battle works is that, as you can see, there's a lot of agitation in the enemy rank, but they're just taking position and they will alternate with or defend around here. Yes, again. Oh, it's like there was a cave here. Look at that thing. Sure, there's a hidden cave there. Start running. Here with my cavalry I might as well continue further and perhaps attack them in the back if there's an opportunity. Slingers are a good unit usually. Clear that later in the game they're not as good because troops are starting to have too much armor. But they have a good range, so it's a very effective unit. Actually made armies which were only made of slingers and javeliner, and turned out to be very effective. Would be surprised. While my legionary cohort will burn the towers there, my other will slowly make their way to the field of battle, or the gate of battle in this case. Okay, let's go all the way back there. My velites are firing their javelin against those guys here with good effectiveness. Oh, this guy has 2 javelin in the head. Must hurt, what we call an Edish. I guess that will send a strong signal to the enemy. Don't deploy outside the wall. Sometimes they cannot help it. That was just big lag there. Okay, now I'll move my legionnaires to destroy those towers, and the other legionnaires will move, start the fight for the gate. What's my general policy on Conquest? Do I occupy, kill everyone, or enslave? Usually I occupy, and the reason for that is mostly that the more slaves you have in your empire, the more likely you are to have a revolt. So I don't see enslavement as particularly useful or wise. As for exterminating everybody, it's well, when you raise a town, it destroys all the building, which allows you to rebuild better building earlier. That doesn't necessarily make it more unstable, because if you rebuild a building which creates happiness, usually you're still able to keep the place in order. But I think the best thing is to simply occupy, because then the building are preserved. You don't get slaves which will mess your public order. And on top of that, what you do is you dismantle the building after, which will give you money, which you don't get if you raise the town. So that's why I think occupying is the best choice of them all. Also, occupying will make you have less enemies, potentially speaking, on the campaign, because when you kill the enemy troops or whatever you capture there, this only pleases the enemy of your enemy, so that might help you to create a better alliance with some faction. But in the context where this game is all about conquering and not so much about building diplomatic relation, there's not that much use to please the enemy of your enemy. And since the enemy of your enemy might die from somebody else attacking him, there's not much point in developing or making good relation with them. So it's best to simply occupy the place, which will only make people happy or not hate you. And that's much better to keeping the faction around you happy or not hostile at minimum. Have I ever considered myself to be a real-life general or strategist? Not really, because it's a very tough job, and this is having the lives of people in your hand is not necessarily the most pleasant thing all the time. And also you can also well, especially with the modern wars, it's not necessarily clear who your enemy is. So being a general in the real life nowadays is probably not the most pleasing job ever. And of course, depending which country you live in, it's not necessarily the most, let's say, ethical job ever. So you might have to do some stuff which will haunt your dream forever. I prefer to be a great general in video games. And it's clear that some principle that you learn in video games might be applicable in the real life. But it's best not to end up at war at all. Because war is a dirty business and you don't want to be involved in that. You don't want to live through it. And if you're the one seeking it, well, you generally don't know what you're getting into. I think the world of tomorrow should not be a world built on hatred. Well, I hope I do sound like a pacifist now. Because anyway, as the one king of France once said, the canon is the last king's argument. So normally, you only end up at war when you have failed with the diplomacy, and war is a failure in itself. So if you're at war, that means you failed at something. But fighting in a war is not something to be proud of. Something that nation should be a little ashamed of, because that means that they were not good enough to find other solution first. Of course, the nature of war probably did change a lot lately, and now we have economic war, which is a different kind of war. So the kind of battle that you saw from antiquity to World War II and Gulf War and all that kind of stuff, something which has it's only one vision of war. There's also economic war, which now it's all behind diplomacy and spying. Of course, it's a kind of war which is not as obvious as military war, so it's a different kind of war. And the thing is that just when you watch what kind of war some countries get into, Usually it's a lot for self-interest, not necessarily for any great cause. So that was a victory. And that's part of the job of a general. You need to understand all the global context of a war, because sometimes there's different objectives which need to be achieved, and usually when you're a general, you're serving politicians. Politicians are not always the wisest people to choose if a war is good or not, because they're doing it for usually serving the interest of somebody. So nowadays, being a general is a lot of serving people which are not necessarily taking the national interest of the people or the citizen at heart. They're more taking their own profit. So being a general nowadays is a much different vision than what general used to be in a certain era, but it's always usually serving interests. When Rome went to war in antiquity, it was rarely for the benefit of anybody, just that they use argument which, like, oh, we are going to help that tribe, and then whoops, we annex the entire goals, that kind of thing. So, I hope you appreciate my speech. Let me read a little the comments. Yeah, I think Shazam is resuming well my position. I enjoy strategy. I think that's a fascinating subject, but doing strategy is a whole other thing.
We hunger for battle.
It's also a different responsibility, as I said. Okay, well, that we will have another fight here. Just hope that they won't come out of the wall. Reading more comments. Also, the thing is that with modern war, especially, what is a little sad about, well, not necessarily sad about, but, you know, one thing which is missing about war nowadays, especially with superpower, is that there's a kind of impunity. Normally, especially in antiquity, Middle Age, and up to modern era, there's a kind of mutual risk when you start a war. So there's a kind of aspect of if you go to war, it's very likely that you will have to suffer. While nowadays it's like, well, I have that drone, which if it get destroyed, there's no problem, you know. I just send another one. So there's a kind of sense of impunity, and then you can drift toward the capacity of a nation to simply wage a war at the distance without any risk to themselves. And this is a kind of a drift, because it just makes the war much easier, and it becomes a solution much easier. Why do diplomacy if I can just wipe out my enemy with drones? So there's a kind of dehumanization of the war there, and the fact that a nation doesn't have any risk to itself when it starts a war is a kind of an issue, because it makes the war become a much more reasonable solution from that standpoint. So it's the war has evolved a lot, and even with the guns, you usually shoot somebody that doesn't necessarily have the means to pose any risk to you. This is why firearm kinda destroy what was the meaning of war before, because it just make everything much easier, which is not necessarily good from a humanity standpoint, because up to a certain point, having a risk when you enter a fight just make the fight less appealing. So the easier a war gets, the more appealing killing the other enemy gets. So it's so easy. Why bother negotiating? I can just bomb them. It's easy. Ancient war was worse. A lot of times rape and murder were encouraged by the generals. Well, I think the only difference is that nowadays You have a kind of humanly created restriction on that aspect. But when you look at civil war, which usually don't respect convention of military power, essentially, you end up with the same kind of behavior that you had in antiquity. So I think war hasn't changed. It's just that some country decided to restrict what will have been, well, what their soldiers are supposed to do. Now, that doesn't mean that has stopped. It's just that perhaps in some case you don't hear about it. But you know, there's nothing glorious in it. It's not glorious at all. And I think lately Syria is a good example of all the reality of war. So there's the kind of Western vision of war where you don't do the kind of stuff that happened in antiquity. But in many cases, when the rules no longer apply, you pretty much get back to what antiquity was like. So we're just living in a kind of humanly created war with rules. But you can be sure that the day that somebody which will have a lot of power will decide that those rules no longer apply, well, you go back to that mess that used to be antiquity and Middle Age. It's just it's a pretty sad truth that in the reality there's no limit, there's no rule. And Western world decided to apply some rules, and I think it's nice that everybody respect that. But the day that somebody doesn't respect that, then you're back to the reality, which has no rule. So just be glad to live in the time that we're living. Because it could be much worse. It has been worse, and it might be worse in the future. You don't know. And of course, the best world will be a world where everybody can resolve everything by diplomacy. Or simply compromise. But of course, you need good faith for that, which it's not every nation or people that have that. Now, back in the days of antiquity, let's say that most people did not know if they could trust anybody, and that's part of the charm of video games concerning that period, that you have asymmetry, and you also have a lot of unpredictable stuff, so that make it a very fascinating subject. I think we should not have any illusion about war. War is a bad thing, no matter the time. It's just an amazing video game subject, which we never get tired of. And as they used to say, we usually get tired of everything else before war. So that's part of humanity. And it's not only part of humanity, it's also part of a lot of animals' daily lives.
Jupiter gives us strength. Commander.
What's my opinion about Quebec becoming a republic? It's a good question. Well, I think pretty much every nation should have the right to they follow their choice. Now, right now, I don't think that in Quebec there's much of a drive to become a republic recently. And I think that because we have separatists government in place at the moment,
Brave Romans to
and that they haven't done anything towards separation at the moment. It's just a good indicator that there's not the will of the population to become a republic at the moment.
Legionary cavalry.
And if there was, there will probably be another referendum. But the thing is that
Mars. Quick
I think if there's a referendum and it's 50% plus one, that means that the will of the people is that there's a will to become a republic. But that should be decided by the people, not individual or intellectual. It's the people which should decide. And what made the prior referendum fail, it's because there was no will of the people. It was something which was proposed by a certain elite. And I think the choice of the people should have been respected, since
melee troops. Advance at speed.
up to a certain point I don't mind whatever the people choose. If they want to become a republic, good for them. If they don't want to become a republic, good for them. But it's not any individual business to judge them. No matter what the choice is, it should be respected. And you need to respect also the will of the people. And to be honest, I think a referendum should not be something that is invited to by the government. It should be something which the population choose by themselves to create. So there's actually enemy reinforcements. Yeah, it's clear, Lucas, that right now we're really living in a kind of dream of a time in terms of peace. And I think up to a certain point the internet might be responsible for a lot of that, because the internet is a kind of tool which allows us to communicate with each other without any frontier. And that's a very nice thing.
Sons of Mars. At the double.
And I think there's a certain danger to that, especially in terms of having your own identity up to a certain point, because then we can end up all speaking English, for example. And I'm sure that all the English people now are like, what? What's the problem with that? It will make everything so easier. Well, there's a certain charm to have your own culture, because there's different ways to express yourself. There's a different way to think stuff. And the language is an interesting way to think. Some stuff can be think better in certain language, while each language have their own strength and weakness. English is a practical language because you can learn it fairly easily. It's fairly simple, not as complex as French, for example, in terms of grammar. But each language have its own flavor. And that's why the internet is a great opportunity, because everybody can discuss. And also, I think a lot of what happened, for example, in the Middle East with the Arab Spring was due to the internet being a mean to transfer information. I think that was an interesting result of the internet. So it might actually help shape a better world tomorrow, with more peace, more understanding, and a better exchange of ideas. Because when you look at history, especially in the Middle East, it's clear that some of the best time that happened under the realm of many sultans of that region, it was because they were welcoming every idea that came from around the world. And I think the internet is doing exactly that. So I think what's important nowadays is to be open to every idea. Do not reject anything right away. consider it, and then you can make your own mind about it. And you should also respect other people's idea.
Ready and waiting.
Economically, I don't think Quebec can sustain herself for a long period of time.
Sons of Mars! Orders ready!
Well, it depends. I'm no economist, but you know, if citizens can sustain themselves, I guess a country can sustain itself.
We await your command. Double time! Melee troops!
The thing is that it's all a matter of what kind of society you want tomorrow. And
Romans to a man.
for example,
Glory to Rome!
if you want a navy government, you will have to have a lot of money. If you don't want a navy government, it can be super light, so it can sustain itself. It's just that you won't have any service.
Your order.
For example, if we take my Roman campaign, I'm all building stuff toward having stability. And that's very inexpensive, all things considered. But I end up having enormous return because I'm not spending on building expensive building. And I also have a minimal military might, so that make my economy prosper. That's because I'm not spending much. So the real world is pretty much the same. If you don't spend, that mean you don't need. So because the more you spend, the more you need money from your citizen.
At your command.
So it's all a question of shaping the government. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, I'm sure we're making YouTube live feed crumble.
Commander.
So I hope you appreciate my input on how to make a good economy. I think, you know, if a province, any province, can sustain itself without a federal province, federal government, I mean, you know, that's up to them.
Commander.
Depend what kind of society they shape. And I don't think, you know, when you, for example, during after World War One, actually prior to that, if we go back to the Franco-Prussian War, the Prussian gave France an enormous fee for the war, and France decided to pay that in very few years, just to for the honor of it to a certain point. So they ended up paying an enormous sum for the time, and they did that out of pride. So up to a certain point, no matter how rich or poor a society can be,
Commander.
if they are willing to
To your duty.
take the measure necessary to sustain a government, they can. And when you look at antiquity, for example, many tribes, just a few days ago I was watching a documentary about the Persian Empire. They started with a tribe, so it was a tiny bunch of people which ended up creating an empire. So there's no limit to what people can achieve as long as they are determined to something. I think history is filled with that, so there's no telling what the society can achieve if they are motivated. Now, of course, nowadays we're without the international
Ready for
commerce, a little
Lay
harder.
siege to the settlement.
But if a society decides to live in a certain way, then there's no problem with it.
Battle.
Like there's plenty of people which are living with less mean than what we have in the Western world, and they are still happy. So we don't need everything that we're using right now to be happy. That's what it means. Of course, many people will like to have as much as we, but it's all a matter of what's your station. If you have no needs, then you're really scary because you don't need anything.
Commander?
Okay, that's good. Shazam. Yeah, by the way, guys, if there's any problem with the stream, tell me. Then I can investigate and try to figure out what's the problem, if there's any.
We hunger for battle.
Okay, now let's get back to the game. Which is not as fascinating, but
Ready for battle.
that's why we're here. So I'll make my way to attack those towns here. It's time to get rid of that enemy.
Finding shelter.
Now we'll increase the public happiness.
At your command.
Guess here I should probably start thinking about raising an army in that region. I should also well, actually I don't have I no longer have the spacing necessary to have more armies, so I guess we won't raise an army here. Might as well waste one somewhere. Be able to raise one here. I will cycle the different armies that I can.
At your command. Ready for battle.
There's an enemy army which is around there, so that means that they can potentially come and attack me here, but I do have a legion which block them. I mean that I do need to perhaps attack them here and here as well. I do have a legion here. Yeah, perfect. I'll be able to destroy the 2 towns of that enemy, which will be a welcome change, because then they will be forced to attack some of my garrison somewhere. Wait a second. What was it? Okay, let me just take a look at the whole situation now. So I still have 2 provinces to conquer here. I have the neutral faction here that I probably will have to dispose of. There's also another neutral faction here which has a single town. That means that I will likely be able to get rid of them. What else can I do now? I'm already having a legion which is heading there. I guess in that region here I might as well invade the neutral territory, which is over here with that legion.
We hunger for battle.
I will send them here. There we go.
On the move. At ease, men.
Destroy that slum. I will make a auxiliary camp here. The thing is that I'm starting to think that I should probably rely more on auxiliary, and the reason is mostly because it will add some diversity to my legion, also add some challenge, so that might be interesting.
We hunger for battle.
It's clear that they won't be as good as legionnaires, but it will be a little more fun.
Ready for orders.
Turn is complete. Of my general actually ranked up, I suppose I should take care of that.
We hunger for battle.
For battle.
having trouble selecting that ball over there.
Orders.
There we go. Nearly not made it. Okay. Bit more damage. That. The random guy here. And now the intern will be happy. No, he's not, but I don't mind. Yeah, Seleucid Empire will be destroyed at some point. I'm currently moving my legions around it, so that means that I'll be able to attack them from all directions, so they will likely fall in very few turns, hopefully. I still need to secure for good the Germanic area, because I'm kind of spread out there, which is certainly not practical in the context. So Germans seem to be very happy to stay together, so that might make it a little tricky to engage myself there, but we'll see about that. General, I don't care. Died from I don't know what. Yeah, here I'm heading all the way there, and my goal here is to take advantage of the fact that my ally lost that region to take it from him. Fortunately, the enemy seem to be suffering from attrition. Will serve me well in keeping that faction weak until I attack the place. While here, I will go attack that town. Very close there. I had not noticed that I was trespassing. Oh yeah, sure, I'll declare war. I asked my ally to join in. Oh, that's much easier than I expected. Oh, that's because I have a lot of friendly with me. Oh, there's only a bunch of spearmen in the enemy army. That's not worth fighting. So that's a good thing. This faction is likely destroyed now.
Commander.
And my ally actually served me, which is the amazing part. It's actually rare that you end up having a friendly ally in the fight. Yeah, we're really looking forward for those Camel archer to be engaged in something. Oh, on the other hand, I'm at war with these guys now. And I do not have a legion nearby. But my priority now was mostly to get rid of those guys. This way I have those legions or those region available.
At your command.
And destroy these. Ambush, which is very nice. I have to fight this. There's very few enemies in that army anyway, so that's not particularly fighting.
Make haste, men.
Oh, that faction is actually sieging that town.
Ready for battle.
Could actually take advantage of this. Their army is sieging another town, so I will go capture their town.
Laying siege to the settlement. Let them cower before Rome.
That's a garrison. Have another enemy here, but I don't think it's worth it, or is it? Yeah, I will lose way too many troops there. I will do that siege, so that should go well. I do have quite a bit of proper troops, and I'm only facing a bunch of spearmen. Hey Bruno, how it's going? Okay, sure. Oh, they decided to come out. What will be interesting about this particular battle is that I'm fighting these guys, and there's an enemy which is reinforcing, which is also at war with these guys. So we'll see if they actually join them against me or if they will actually attack them. Now, my impression is that they will join join the battle against me, but I'm curious to see that. Okay, forward. Here. Let's scan for those reinforcements, which are coming from somewhere. Anyway, the thing is that if I actually attack both armies, that's ideal. Hey, Wilkesy. Yeah, actually, YouTube Live is something that very few people do. Well, I'm a kind of a innovative guy in terms of gaming videos. I think there's very few people which actually have access to it. But for some reason, I do. And I'm really enjoying this, actually. Very nice. A good interaction with my viewers. What I like. And to be honest, when I publish a video lately which is not live, I find that very few people actually end up commenting. It's a bit of a shame, because that's exactly what motivates me to continue. So perhaps that live experience will revive a little bit my interest, which is fading from the lack of comment lately. Of course, those that comment are really enjoying it. I really enjoy that, and they seem to be enjoying as well. But you know, when you make a video and there's so few comments, even though there's a lot of viewing, viewing is something, it's nice, but it's not the same thing as comments. Oh, that AI actually put a lot of walls there. Sure, what's the role of those walls are, or what they will do to my troops. I suppose perhaps I should go around that. Let's move around the walls. So apparently these two factions are enemies on the campaign, but they decided to unite themselves against me. I guess they heard of the Romans. It's nearly a walking column. That is a walking column. It's back. Where did it go? Was it gone for a while, or? Because I don't seem to have any problem here. No, I'm fine. We seem to have some, what's that? Scorpion. Let's charge the Scorpion. These guys are deadly. Especially against cavalry for some reason. Oh, he killed a horse. I'm now just flanking around that barricade. I will move around also with my cavalry. Oh, I think they killed more horse now. Oh yes, they did. Poor horse. It's a shame. Sure, there should be a satisfaction from killing artillery units like that. That were killing all your friends who were riding on by your side.
In the name of Rome.
Now you want me to continue the conversation about humans? You really want this live stream to last 4 hours, which is a maximum on YouTube? There seems to be something coming here. What's that? One Danaz spear. I wonder what's special about that spear unit.
Jupiter gives us strength.
What's interesting with that formation, well, that fortification, is how it actually put my legion into a kind of narrow field, which is probably ideal for them. The barbarian are mostly good at maneuvering, but the Roman are actually very good at fighting in narrow space, because then the enemy cannot flank around.
Ready for duty! Ready and waiting! At the double! Evocati!
My cavalry is getting shot at by slingers. I will give them some space.
Evocati! General! Mandata tua!
There's some fight of skirmishers, which my velites might be winning. Or not. Nope, I'm losing quite a bit of them. I might as well just engage my... Yeah, I'm losing the skirmisher battle. I will now charge into that huge amount of enemies and gloriously fight my way through there. I will come and support them from the back. My cavalry, like this. Yeah, I'm not complaining that people don't comment. It's just that comment is really what makes YouTube unique and fun. That's what drives people to make videos. And it's a good interaction, especially if the video creator cares about it, which I do. And not some empty companies, like some channel, actually care about my content. I'm a YouTuber from the beginning, so. And at the beginning of YouTube, what was fun about it is that there was really an interaction. But now it's like, is that really worth it to comment on that channel? Just a company. I don't care about companies. But I'm not a company. I'm an individual and I like what I do. I'm glad that my viewer like it as well. And I just like even more when they express it. I seem to have really outmaneuvered them very well there. Yeah, that's going pretty well. My auxilia are doing a very nice job there. Wow. How many seconds did that last? That was pretty fast. Surprise. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes the live feed of YouTube seems to be unreliable. I'm not sure what's causing this. Anyway, last night I did the live stream for 3 hours. And that went fine. Was only a bit of an issue at after 2 hours, but it was very short. So I don't know. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see about that over time.
At your command.
If I see myself living into another Canadian province, well, I have nothing against it. I'm not really attached to anything, to be honest. And there's great people all over the country. It's the best country in the world. I'm sure I will receive a lot of reaction from that. Huh? How about your country? Is it the best in the world? for international people. Some people ask me about a gladiator. I suppose I should probably start making the infrastructure to produce you, but I'm not sure if I'll actually manage to make some by the end of this campaign, because I think I will actually expand very quickly from now on, because I'm in good position all over the place.
Let them cower before that path is blocked.
Oh, that path is blocked. There's a single guy on the road. Come on.
Ready for orders. We
Let's
cannot
be
do that.
really fat. Okay. I will convert the population with temples. Make everybody think the same. Which is a natural way to establish power, right? Yeah, now here. Are the people happy? They're not happy. I will convert them to my culture. Yeah, also some gladiator stuff, which might make them happy. Thank you, Lucas, for voicing your opinion about that.
At your command.
It's good. Defend your country.
Laying siege to the settlement.
Should be proud of your country. Of course, pride should not blind anybody who look elsewhere.
Commander.
I mean, it's good to vary your horizon. Open your mind to different point of views. The best thing ever. Public happiness now. Making everybody happy is the priority of the Empire. I'm sure
We hunger for battle.
in many thousand years they will say it was an evil empire, it was making everybody happy. What can be worse than that? Kinda strange how in this game what you do is you kill everybody and then you make the people happy. It's a weird logic. I'm killing you so that the rest of the people around you can be happy. Reasonable.
Ready for orders.
I have my auxiliary army, which is getting close to completion there. Next turn. Remind me of it. And here I should start a war. That won't last long.
Commander.
Declare war. This is an opportunity to capture a part of Britain
Laying
from
siege
my
to the
ally, which lost it. Damn it.
None will escape.
It was a failure. I did not notice that my army was out of move. Oh, really? She still believes that she's a citizen? Well, actually, as a Canadian, I'm part of the Commonwealth. So that means that, and also the Queen is the chief of state of Canada. So normally, I'm still, up to a certain point, supposed to be a British citizen, or at least I'm a subject of Her Majesty the Queen of England. It's rather weird. Which other province will you choose if you have to leave Quebec? Good question. I think I will explore the north. Nunavut. That seems interesting.
Would you kindly allow
It's filled with adventure. Very few people. Or actually overcrowded people in a few houses. But on an extremely large space. That should be fun. Oh, we have a nice defense to do here. Let's do that. The last battle was actually pretty good. A good maneuvering battle. Let's hope we get a more intense one after. Yeah, that's true. Portugal did rule quite a bit of the world. It seemed also a very sunny place. Always have warm weather. While here we get, one time we had 800 centimeter of snow during one winter. That was pretty hard to beat that. Okay, well, that will be I'm not sure I can win this actually, but we'll see, because these guys are good spearmen. Well armored. They also have skirmisher cavalry, which might be a pain. And I only have one unit of legionnaire. On top of that, they had Hellenic royal guards. That might be dangerous. I have 2 ships, which I will land the troops now. Okay, so how to do this? Starting to think that the best way to do this is to charge them purely and simply. So, Turo Spear. These might be dangerous. I guess what I'll do is I will charge one group and I will use skirmisher on the other. I will support my legionnaires with my Rorari on the side. I will use my pleb to go arrest the enemy skirmishers over here. I end up attacking those 2 Reos spear in the back. But that also exposed my legionnaire to being fired at by the skirmishers, which is why those pleb are really important now. There's also those royal guards. Yeah, I have some skirmisher which I need to bring in. A very strange battle. To order my skirmisher to fire on those royal guards here. Come on, legionnaire, fight these before you get all slaughtered by javeliners. I'll use my pleb to chase those skirmisher away, even though they don't really have a chance to rout them. Oh, good news. If those royal guards rout, that's an excellent thing. Got a fight here? I left. Oh well. Time to switch my target with the skirmishers. Yeah, pleb versus guys with shield, that's not a particularly good combination. Time to charge those skirmisher with proper troops. My main problem is that the cavalry skirmisher can be quite a pain. Hopefully the moral impact from me defeating their general will hopefully make them run away. Also, these guys actually have axe, which is dangerous. I think axe are actually good at getting armored troops, so it can be dangerous. Oh no, there's a legionnaire there. Good. I'm glad that the enemy skirmisher cavalry routed, because if they did not, it would have been a pain. I did lose quite a few troops there. 649. Well, I killed 790. 749. The right number. So that was a very close fight for Garrison. Yeah, Newfoundland and Labrador seem interesting as well. The Labrador seem pretty epic in terms of let's terrain. Apparently there's an insane amount of moose over there, so you will never run out of food. Should I declare war on German Confederacy? Last time I did, it ended up in a crash, so I will wait for that. I think I will wait for them to declare war on me.
We hunger for battle.
That's good. I destroyed that faction town. They decided to pull back, so I'm ambushing them because they went into a forced march for trading. There's still those hostile armies around the place, so I'll wait there with my legion. And there's more rebel I probably should dispose of. But this garrison seems amazingly powerful. Look at that. 13 soldiers. There's even a general in there. Oh no, actually it's an evocati court. Same thing. Okay, I need to develop the port here. I'll check where I can expand here. Oh, I think we'll be in a big battle here. Yeah, I think I will actually siege that place. I would even have a lot of catapult. It will be a pain. I guess I will have to spread out my legions. Hopefully they defend the town. Because if that's... Ah, damn it, they're coming out. In an open field that might be a little bit more tricky. But you don't like minus 30, Lucas? So amazing. Like, yeah, you're outside, and then, especially if it's humid out there, you end up feeling the cold in your hand, and you cannot really do anything about it, and you start losing sensation. It's very enjoyable. And then that's usually the part where your body starts being annoyed by the cold and start heating up everything, and then you become all warm, and you enter back into your house and you're all warm, crazy warm, and like but first of all you need to freeze completely. Time I had to take part in an operation to raise a 2-ton car uphill at minus nearly 40. That was awesome. So cold. But it was dry, so it wasn't that bad. When it's cold and dry, it's not that bad.
Your watchword be obedience. Without duty, you are lost. With it, you cannot be beaten.
Great, those enemies seem to be heading to uphill. Yeah, but that might actually be a good thing, because this way, if they're moving, they're not attacking me with catapult. So that means that my cavalry can dispose of that specific strength of their army very quickly.
Romans ready for duty.
My Legionary Cavalry will take care of that. That's an excellent news. On the other hand, that might be an issue if they go all the way up there. Although these are just spearmen, hillmen, more catapult here. We'll prioritize the destruction of those troops. As you can see here, they can be very dangerous for my dense formation of legionnaires. I think they're really making a big mistake by going uphill like that. Because their main strength is catapult. Now if my general was smart, he will seize those catapult and he will use them in future siege. But that's sadly not that's not included in the game. I kind of miss the fact that in Shogun, I think, you could actually capture cannons and use them after. Kinda nice. But sadly, in this, no such luck. Yeah, one time I heard about the weather forecast for England, and they're speaking of the cloud. So there's a hole in the cloud. That was pretty funny. It's implying that there's a persistent cloud over England all the time. Which is very hilarious. Don't you like British humor?
Romans ready for duty. Your orders?
Oh, they're really going for the top of the hill there. Yeah, it's border camping. Come on. That's something only players should do. What the hell? Border camping. Well, I guess that's good. I won't have to chase them around. They will be on the border. This is nonetheless ridiculous. Well, let's see. There seem to be a few skirmisher here, which I might as well get rid of with my auxiliary cavalry. The good old border camping. Haven't done that in a while. I remember in Medieval 1, I ended up quite a few times doing border camping because there was like 10 times more troops in the enemy army, especially Egyptian army. Peltas archers. It seems that the skirmisher are isolated from the rest, so as well tag them with my cavalry. Also, since they are uphill, they probably have an edge over my troops or skirmisher. They have a better range, hopefully, if that's any realistic game. Auxiliary cavalry is engaged against spearmen. That's a bad thing. I will disengage them. I'll actually end up winning this battle just with cavalry if I continue at that. Maybe if I eliminate all the skirmisher, they might come down the hill. That seems very unlikely. The skirmisher are too well placed. Come on, border camping. What? Want? We're charging my cavalry with mobs. Those spearmen are a little more dangerous. But you mean that there's actually days without sun in Spain? I don't believe you.
General, ready and waiting.
I mean, like it's raining sometimes?
Quick march, ready.
Amazing.
Missile infantry ready. Velites.
Well, that slinger unit is defeated. A lot of spearmen around. I will pull back a little my cavalry. And we'll let my legionnaire perhaps take care of those spearmen there. Actually, here I might actually have to leave my cavalry engaged just to keep them there so that my legionnaire can keep up. Oh, come on. Just a bunch of, what's that? Eastern spearmen. Yeah, the problem I have is that the enemy can end up coming down the hill so quickly that it will be dangerous. This is such a bad situation. For example, I think cavalry in such a hill should have an enormous difficulty. It should be like wood. Such a hill. It should reduce the speed by 50%. I don't think any cavalryman will charge down the hill like that. Madness. Yeah, I guess I will keep moving up the hill slowly. Okay, what's that? Mob. Okay, we'll send my auxiliary to take care of that mob. My velites are lagging behind quite a bit. Enemies seem to be taking measure now to engage me. The Rex swordsmen, these might be actually very dangerous. Oh, and they also have cavalry which is coming here. That will be horrible. This is an interesting fight. Here these seem to be mostly spearmen, so that should not be much of a problem for my legionnaires. So most of the fight will happen here. I'll use my skirmisher. Here I need to go up the hill. My cavalry and hopefully charge them in the back. I do have one legion here. If only those guys could get rid of those mob faster. Actually, it's just mob. I'll just go through there. I will send my auxiliary here as well. Now my goal will be to go up the hill and hopefully charge that army in the back. My troops are still holding, but they're losing decisively, which is a very bad thing. Imagine. Oh, here, it's going winning. That's good. They are winning. Yeah, an enemy general. Oh, whoa. That's a unit of pikemen. I should not charge that. Now let's charge in the back of the enemy army. They even have pikemen down there. Okay, now I guess I have the upper hand against that army in the hill. We do have some spearmen though. And my velites are shooting all this for the chaotic battle. How it's going here? Seems to be going well. Actually, I don't want Doug in my army. I want a Flaming Pig, like the original game. This is the only unit they missed. The unit I never used, but I'm missing. Okay, victory. They panicked. Perfect. Killed a lot of catapult. Yeah, the Camel Archer. We'll get there. I'll use them at some point if they catch up. I think they're doing public order stuff in the rear of my campaign.
You have further orders?
Ooh, the general ranked up. Good. Now let's dismantle everything. That will generate money. I nearly need.
Ready for battle.
And here one of my camel army. I'll walk them toward that army of fire and steel. The good news is that region is now stable. But here, that one might be as well stable. With this camel army, which I'll send north as fast as possible. Praetorian and Camel. This is like the ultimate mix of this game.
We hunger for battle.
I'll declare war on these guys. The war won't last long. I guess I will have to fight that battle personally. See how it goes. A lot of legionnaires against a lot of that. Against spearmen, swordsmen, perhaps. Should be no problem. But I do have Camel, don't worry. There we go, Camel. Oh, weird noise. Perfect. We'll scare the enemy. So I will deploy my legionnaires with 3 entry points. Would be like a spec up mission. And most of my force will be in the center, of course. We'll keep my cavalry perhaps on the side there where they won't receive a projectile. I also have some Numidian auxilia, which I have since probably a long time. And I will bring my camel archer in the front as well. He will lead the charge.
Jupiter gives us.
As I see it, and as the omens confirm, our enemies are well supplied with farmers and peasants. They lack warriors.
Okay, the army is made of supply, well, of peasant. The reassuring.
Numidians!
Okay, my camel archer are making their way to the front. See what kind of enemy we're fighting. Noble swordsman. More noble swordsmen. Noble swordsman. This is a good army. While it's not legionnaires, it's a good unit. Not sure who those sound scared the most. The enemy army. Even troops here. Mostly spearmen and skirmisher. We'll have to keep an eye open for the enemy reinforcements. They might actually come from the other side of that hill, so I won't see them until they shows up.
Legionary cohort!
Are those bowmen shooting or no?
Camel archers!
It's indicated that they are shooting, but I don't see arrows.
Orders!
Strange thing.
Roll for glory! Legionary cohort!
There we go. They were not truly shooting. Now these guys will be a good fight because these are swordsmen.
Legionary cohort!
So that will be a good fight.
Your orders! Advance!
Here there's a bunch of skirmisher. My legionnaire don't seem particularly impressed.
Legionary cohort!
Oh, what happened there? Guess that's what happened when you neglect your legionnaires in front of a bunch of skirmishers.
Legionary cohorts! Heavy spearmen!
About here. Tiny units of skirmisher, not much of a challenge.
Legionary cohorts!
Will be a long fight here. I guess I will have to help out from the side. So actually ordered my cavalry to charge in there. I totally missed that order. But here, we'll just rush in the back of those swordsmen. That will give us the impression of using tactic. We'll bring my Numidian closer here, so that they will be able to fire their javelin. Now let's fire in the back of the enemy. Sure they will appreciate that. So I guess that situation in the center will soon be completely under control. Well, here my cavalry is fighting spearmen, which is a very bad idea. Might as well order them to do something else. Well, here those guys seem to be getting slaughtered very quickly. They are noble swordsmen, so they will die like noble swordsmen. I can see my rank advancing toward them. Well, that's very nice that this run better than Twitch for you, because that gives me a good incentive to continue using YouTube. And I also find YouTube much more practical, because that's where my audience is. While on Twitch there's too few people there so far. I think I have so far 51 subscriber on or follower on Twitch. So that's perhaps too few. Also, Twitch doesn't keep track of the comments, for example. And also now by default, normally the videos are not kept. So it's not necessarily practical for everybody. I will charge the enemy with camels. See the destructive power of camels. Never underestimate the power of camels. Let's hope they won't revolt against me. Move those legionnaires. Finish off those spearmen here. With the rest of the army. Oh, they're running away. Ah, that guy was mad. So, another victory. 1,800 enemy killed and 479 soldier lost. I probably did lose too many of my own cavalry, but that's because they were not on Camel. Other than that, I don't see any other rational explanation for this. Actually, the auxiliary cavalry really did well. Oh no, actually you mean, yeah. Okay, auxiliary cavalry got slaughtered. I admit it. It's okay.
Ready for battle.
Now I have that town, which I will dismantle everything. Good improvement. There are far more people watching live stream on Twitch. Yes, that's actually true. But from my experience, all those people are not watching me. And while I can live with very few people, I prefer to reach the maximum amount of people that are interested in what I do. And that amount of people seem to be on YouTube much more than on Twitch. And of course, I would like to attract Twitch people my live stream, but so far the result have not been up to my expectation, or have not been as interesting and lasting as the live stream I did on YouTube. So I guess Twitch will have some work to do to convince me. You can still follow me over there. I guess the more of my viewer will follow me on Twitch, the more likely I am to do some live stream over there. But for now, I feel really satisfied with the live stream on YouTube. Also, YouTube allows you to go back in time while I'm streaming. So, if you missed a battle and you find me boring for a certain part of the campaign, you can simply go back to check the battle that you might have missed, and then simply come back to where I am when there's a battle, or when you think there's a battle, to check where I'm at. So that's an interesting aspect of YouTube. Plus, your comments are kept on my video, which is much better, because then I can come back later on and answer any comment I might have skipped above during the live broadcast. So in terms of interaction, for me, it's much better to be on YouTube as well. There's a rebel army here, which might actually capture that town. I will end up having England without much of a fight. Please. Have much to do here. There's a lot of enemies army around the place. And I have very few legion to fight these. I guess we might actually end up with quite a few fights with Garrison armies. Defending, I mean. Okay, but what can I do now? Armies looting my territory. I might as well try to chase them away or destroy them for good. Looting is actually a very good resource that can annoy quite a bit the other factions, yes, but it gives you money, reduces the price of your own legion, and that make it very practical.
Is that all?
Yeah, I haven't really publicized much my streaming on Twitch, because mostly I wanted to experiment with it first and see what I could achieve there by myself before you know, telling everybody, oh, come on Twitch. But there's also the YouTube live stream, which I had not experimented, and as I say, if you guys follow me on Twitch, I might go there a little more, but here on YouTube it's satisfying as well. So I'll go where my audience want me to go. I don't mind. Very flexible person. And I never, I don't mind experimenting stuff. I'm just developing a few provinces. The thing is that, okay, yeah, this place is now stabilized, it seems. So I'll be able to resume conquest with my legionnaire around here. Or I will just keep them there because I'm now probably getting close to the point of invading the Seleucid Empire soon. But I will first of all stabilize other front. Because you don't want to be fighting on multiple front, even though my legionnaires are really powerful.
We hunger for battle.
I think I will end this turn. I will ignore the fact that some of my general rank up. Is it possible to stream one on both? It might be possible, but yeah, that will require me a bit of effort. I can probably do it. It's just that that will be a lot of management and bandwidth as well. Ah, there we go with the defense. That kind of army I have here. I don't think I can win this. Oh, damn it. I did worse. So I'm currently going out of the town and I will engage them in an open battlefield. That's a smart idea. But yeah, that's what happened when you misclick. But have no fear, I have play which has a boost in sword and armor. So what can go wrong with that? And my general unit will defeat everybody. That guy. Spurius Longinus. Okay. That's my general. He will be remembered for going out of a town with barely any army and charging into the rank of the enemy. So remember his name. Only a few barbarian after all. Okay, so I will send my pleb to charge the enemy skirmisher, which I'm not sure they will be able to defeat, but probably the best fit I can do with what I have. While my Rorari will charge those general units here. I seem to be attacked in the back here. I not notice. Those legionnaire will charge those cavalrymen, which is a misfit. But I guess we'll have to do with what we have. The good news is that the pleb will just gain me some time. Mercenary Celtic War. Well, at least that's a cinematic battle. When you savvy out, there should be a boost to your morale. Because this is just madness. Oh, come on. Went all the way here to run. Very curious to see. Wow, I killed the 81 enemies. It was worth fighting. I'm not sure if when you withdraw from this you actually keep the town. because they were attacking me. So even though I will have withdraw, it will not have saved my troops. Sadly. So I will have to come with a legion and get rid of those guys. Okay, another battle. One can be resolved in another battle. Hopefully the enemy army will be wiped out, or maybe not. Faction was destroyed.
Your orders?
We'll continue to move within the Baltic Sea over there, where all the fleets are. That province will be secure pretty quickly. Seems that the AI is now much more inclined to raid your province, which is something that wasn't the case before. So that's an interesting change. Now let's see which province did I lose there? Right here. Okay, what I'll do, so first of all, I'll check if there's a garrison in that province. Not even buildings. Okay, well, I guess the interface is messed up.
Commander.
Which is not reassuring. Okay, now it has been fixed somehow. Building temples. Okay, good. Let's fix. The Seleucid Empire took that down, which was to one of my enemy. They are a little closer to me now. Here, this legion is stuck there to maintain public order.
At your command.
Auxilia.
On the move.
Oh, we're actually going to have a fight here with my Auxilia army. Okay, that will be very weird to fight. Do it. Did they kill everybody in my city? I don't know. I did not really check that. Oh, I'm sieging a camp now. And let's see my army. So I have Praetorian guards. Are like the ultimate Romans. Helped with a bunch of Arabian spearmen. Perfect for the region, I suppose. Helped with a lot of Auxilia Arab cavalry. And these are what? Praetorian cavalry. I have a lot of Auxilia Camel. And my general is on our horse for change. So this is a very unusual army. And we'll simply rush that fort there. It is filled with a lot of very dangerous things, including catapult. Yeah, forwards. So what I'll do is I'll use my camel cavalry to shoot whatever is inside there. See what's dangerous. Thorax swordsman. I'll prioritize these. With my Arabian spearmen, I will try to burn the two towers, extremities. Now I will start moving my Praetorian closer. My Arabian cavalry will go all the way to the right. My Praetorian, I'll go all the way to the left. I'll use my Praetorian cavalry to attack them in the back. Those Praetorians seem very mean. All those Arabian spearmen really don't seem dressed up for the situation. And my troops are receiving some artillery fire. Yeah, you're right about that, Socom. We do need much more subscribers. And much more people that leave comments, of course. Ouch. And also, we need more subscribers on my Attila Gaming Network channel. I will start making some videos over there again very soon. Move my Camel a little back here, so that they have a good angle. Thorax Swordsman. I'll send my Arabian spearmen on the side there. I'll make them burn the towers there. I'll move my Praetorian close to the walls, where they will be protected by the wall from the enemy artillery. Those artillery are really mean. My Praetorian cavalry in the back there. Let's see how effective those Praetorian are. Just keep some enemies busy while I'm burning the other tower. What kind of angle those catapults have? They're managing to hit my troops by being right here. Oh, and they're really hurting me quite a bit. Guess I will have to press my Praetorian into destroying those catapults as soon as possible. Let's enter from here with my Arabian spearmen. Oh, I got intercepted by a bunch of Thorax swordsmen. I guess I will send one group of Arabian spearmen toward my Praetorian cavalry here. And with the others, I will try to simply go through this unit of Eastern spearmen and potentially support my Praetorian entry here. Well, the difference between Attila Gaming Network and Attila16 is that Attila Gaming Network is actually a partner channel. And I also have Date Your Game, which is a partner channel. So when I make a video on Attila Gaming Network, I might actually expect to make a few coin from it, eventually. While on Attila16, most of the videos are just simply not monetizable, and I will probably never have a partner status. So essentially, when you're watching my stuff on Attila Gaming Network, you're helping me out buying more games, more hardware, that kind of stuff. So it's much more practical. Also, Attila Gaming Network has a few features which Attila16 will never have. So that's the difference, actually. About supporting me a little. That's a pikeman bunch here. Yeah, we'll charge them with my cavalry and my spearmen. So essentially, all the videos I'm doing here for you guys, I'm not making any money from it, so I'm really doing it just because you guys enjoy it. So you better enjoy it. Enjoy. Support it. But it's clear that in the long run, either I invest more time in Attila Gaming Network, or I might as well stop making videos. I don't know. We'll think about that in the future. I don't want to scare anybody.
Is that all? Ready for further orders.
So I will now finish off that army. I'll chase them down so that they never comes again and have no opportunity to loot my territory.
Your next command? Commander?
Develop nothing to do here.
Ready for orders. Get to it, men!
Commander.
So let's build up some public order thing here, because they are still unhappy. Need to fix that. When I will be able to release my legion from doing public order and then continue expanding east. Also those armies around that region which I need to get rid of.
Is that all? Ready for order. Set up the watch.
Yeah, well, maybe I will actually focus a little more on Attila Gaming Network. It's just that Attila16 is where most of my public subscribers are, so that's why I decided to make a series of videos from Total War here, and just to reactivate the people, inform them perhaps in the future, actually at least spoil them a little. But it's clear that the future is likely toward Attila Gaming Network and potentially Date Your Game as well. I have another channel which is called Date Your Game, by the way. I also have one which is in French that I don't really upload much stuff on it, which is an Ancher video. So I have multiple channels for you guys to explore, but the thing is that it's a lot of work to make those videos. And for example, while I'm live streaming to you right now, I'm not doing videos for those other channels. So this is a lot of work, and there's only 24 hours a day And also, when I show a game, usually I like to be able to explain to you how it works. So that means that sometimes I'm playing offline just to learn the game basic, and this way I'm able to provide you information about how to get better at the game, as well as be interesting. Because while many people actually enjoy watching people which are bad at games, I prefer people which are watching people to learn something much more interesting. And I want to be able to provide you that kind of learning experience. I think that's part of what's interesting about my channel. And I hope you do agree with that.
Ready for orders.
Well, as I say, the reason why I'm not putting this campaign on Attila Gaming Network is mostly because here I'm trying to re-engage my audience. So I want to rally up my fans of Total War and re-stimulate them a little toward my past fame, especially with Rome 1. And from there, once they are reactivated, well, perhaps slowly ask them to move toward Attila Gaming Network.
Laying siege to the settlement.
And also, I think the reason why I chose to start with Rome is also the fact that I had a lot of requests back then to make a Roman campaign for the original Rome Total War, and I think making it on Attila16 is a good testament to history there was with that channel. That's why I did that, and I'm still doing it. But it's clear to me that the future is on Attila Gaming Network and the Gear Game also, which I would plan to also revive at some point.
Commander.
Starting to wonder what I should do now. There's a lot of random army around my territory. I will have to get rid of those. One thing which is clear, because I cannot have them moving around in my back while I'm continuing to expand. I will check with that faction here if they actually will be interested in becoming closer to me. Or these guys, by the way. For example, here I can perhaps make a trade agreement. Good. About making a military alliance. No, they don't want to. All too bad.
Greetings, friend. I've
Make
called
trading
for
here.
good aid.
Well, for me, trading is not particularly changing anything. But you coin more. Why not? Yeah, I do agree with you that watching bad people playing games is really annoying, because a few times I'm actually watching other people play, I'm like, nah, he should not play like this. No, he's not doing that right. That's why many people are like, are you watching anybody else? No, because I get a little too annoyed by the way people play usually. And it's not necessarily that I consider myself better than other. I think there's many people which are much better than me in many games. It's just that I have a vision of how I'm supposed to play games which might be different from many people. And usually I also like to think out of the box and find a amusing way, or let's say more efficient way, to resolve the different problem that they give in video games. For example, in this campaign, just the fact of keeping the level of buildings to level 2 just show you a kind of a flaw in the game, because there's no incentive in developing further. So it's a kind of an interesting approach. Not developing is a strength in this game. And while many people will just spend an enormous amount of gold in the game to develop those buildings, which are not particularly useful in the end or in the long run, and can even harm the stability of your empire. So you end up with regular revolt,
Commander.
And actually, somebody said that revolt was a good thing because it trained their troops. But if you produce a warrior or centurion, you end up having the same benefit. You will train your troops and they'll get good. So I think having no revolt at all is the best thing ever in this game. And to do so, you just have to be very modest about what you build. And that make it very good and stable. Nobody will ever revolt. Like Spain has been under my control since forever, and look how happy they are. Even giving them some meat. Should make my soldier taller in that region. But anyway. Yeah. I will destroy German territory soon. Anyway, here. This population seems to be a little more stable. Okay, good. That legion is now free to go destroy the rest of Germany. I guess I will move over there and take action against German. Will be under the Roman rules, while here I'm stuck guarding that town. Here I do have a legion which seem available. Now they're still stabilizing the place. Guess here I will just chase down those guys around so that they won't annoy me anymore. Here I'm keeping these legions for what exactly? Oh yeah, I need to eliminate that small rebellion there. I'll make my way there with my legionnaires. Here I will invest on public order.
Ready for battle.
There we go. Here I will also build temples. The people are happy. Now that's something about this game which is interesting, is that once you build your army, as long as you don't lose all your troops in it, or completely your troops, you don't really need any more army building. So as long as you keep your troops alive, you're fine. Only if you lose your entire legion, like I did a few times, but that doesn't seem to happen much anymore. That you need the capacity to rebuild troops, but generally speaking, you don't really need much building for military purpose. Yeah, Germany is rather difficult to fight in. Well, the terrain is forest and hills, and also the winter or the snow part of the map are really doing a lot of attrition damage on your troops, and that's terrible. Media Empire is annoying my legion now. Leave them alone. Oh, again, agent. Check this out, my general will be dead again. Okay, under siege again. I win this. I can with a Pyrrhic victory. And that's the end of that faction, I hope. I do hope that they will never come back. We'll kill the captives so they don't come back for sure. Yeah, I did lose a general. Here I will continue my conquests. Settlement captured. But there's nobody defending. Fair. I don't mind that. I wish that would happen more often. There was nobody defending the place. That's strange. I think it's the first time ever that happened to me. Okay, when that... Well, that region is now secure. Guess I... -3. We are still unhappy, but it will get better in 2 turns. Hopefully there won't be any rebellion. But what's interesting about that is that I might actually be able to start a war against those guys here. And get rid of them. Before turning my attention toward the Seleucid Empire.
Commander. Commander.
Let's see. Well, that legion is not needed, I think. No, it's not. I can move south. We'll move them toward future conquest. Here, what about this? I think what's the most annoying about Germania is mostly the kind of path that you need to use. You need to go all over the place to go in between the towns. It's not so much that the battle are that hard, it's mostly that just the roads are all over the place, so it's very difficult for your troops to move around. I guess I still need to defend that place. Big army coming. Which is rather balanced. Look at this. Cavalry, swordsmen, spearmen, slingers, artillery. I guess the patch really did fix a few issues with the army balancing them. That's a good thing. Interesting or how Massilia is having 2 armies on my territory. They're my allies. It's a long time, by the way.
Ready for battle.
Many people ask for me to destroy them. I still haven't done that. Okay, let's see. Do I need to think of anybody? No, I don't. Fine. Welcome home then, honey badger. I don't mind the demand, at least it creates some interaction. Better than remaining concealed and stalking my fight. Now that will be an interesting battle. I'm very outnumbered, but fortunately I'm in a fort, which oh, that's that place again. So that will be fairly easy, hopefully. Yeah, I don't think they will beat me. So once again, deploying my skirmisher there. Deploying my Rorori by the door. Supported by engineers. The battle will likely be like déjà vu. Or in good French, déjà vu.
Already they are drinking to celebrate.
Been investing on saying it like the English do it.
Enemy reinforcements approaching. At speed! Plebs! Dominate!
Deploying my plebs so that they absorb a part of the shock. Now let's conceal that that advisor.
General!
Defensive testudo.
Defensive testudo!
Wow, that's what we call a change of formation. Oh yeah, another aspect of those towers that they use catapult. That's much stronger. That will reduce a lot those guys. Guy is pretty strong. Oh, the spear disappeared. Just a javelin. What do you mean, Shazam? What the hell? Did you have a problem with the live stream again? You're burning the place. I will remove my javeliner from that part of the wall so that they don't get killed by the gate falling. It will always puzzle me. I can simply redeploy on the wall again. Never was sure if that was a feature or a bug. Now you can literally see through the eye of somebody here. Even the pleb is pumped. That will be a butcher. Poor little guys. You know the feeling. Yeah, I don't know how that worked. It was kind of weird to capture a settlement without any resistance. Yeah, keep doing it, Lucas. Interaction is what's cool about live stream. So as silly as some question might be, sometimes it's fun to answer them, because then you can do funny answer. Or sometimes that lead to some strange tests about games. Those cavalry guys are really motivated to go through all this. Coming through, no problem. Don't mind the 100 of swords pointing me. That Rorari here is motivated. I'll look at the pile of body here. That was a very easy defense. My wolves are invincible. Yeah, that's okay with the oil. Can stop it. Come on, it's already cooked. Be able to eat that later. Okay, why is it not ending? Oh. Why? He tried to sneak in my back. That is why. Like, yeah. Okay guys, we'll capture that town. We're only 10 guys, but we'll do it. Incredible. Also these guys, a little further. There's a horse which open the gate. Like, open the gate, menless horse want to go through. It's reasonable. Especially during a siege. Especially when there's nobody around. What are they doing? They want to come back here and enter from there. I can imagine what my soldiers are thinking. Where are they going? What's going on? And the fuse. I guess I'll just wait. Wait for them to closer there. Make their intention clearer. Oh, there are so many birds flying around. We'll heat chicken. But it's not flying, sadly. You really should keep some sound still when you speed up things. Thinking about sending my general outside, face the enemy, and prove the might of the Romans. Yeah, let's do that. Look, they're all happy. Finally, fresh air. They're all like, yeah, yeah, they see the enemy and everybody gets quiet. Stay quiet there.
Mars, aid us!
Let's get a pretty deep formation. Yeah. So positive. Actually, they defensive testudo. Normally that increase bracing, armor strength, shield strength. Normally this is supposed to be like a testudo, which is good for defense. Ooh, that. Are they actually able to fight in that formation? Will be an interesting test. They seem to be able to fight. But they're still in defensive test. Yes, they are. So that actually boosts them their stats for close quarter fighting. Nice. Charging the flank there. No, my poor legionnaire here. Unit is losing. Not good. Okay. About that. Who will leave legionnaire dying outside? They're losing slightly now, but getting better. That's a fun formation nonetheless. Like, hello guys. Now we help a little. It's kind of nice how they retake, they put the shield up. I think I will use that formation more in the future. Be cool. Oh, and it's that faction, so whatever I killed there, it's very good for my campaign to retake that territory. Another defense, this time against some kind of German army. I will do it as well. Same strategy, I suppose. Burning them all at the gates. That's the only reasonable thing to do. Where's the enemy? They're over here. Good, I even have velites. As well as a couple of other skirmisher.
On watch, Commander. Commander.
We'll keep these in the back. And prioritize the velites on the wall there.
Brave Romans to a man.
And we'll deploy those skirmisher toward the interior. We'll make them better at dealing with whatever comes in. I seem to have less Rorari in this defense, but I seem to have better down militia. Their name already? Vigiles. So they just add a piece of clothing and an helmet, and that make them much better.
General.
Well, here I still have my general, the regular legionnaires.
Have you ever seen a bigger collection of
I think I will move my general forward and put him into that defensive testudo formation. We'll see how that goes.
Stand ready. Defensive testudo.
We'll also put those Rorari in square.
Proud Romans all.
They don't seem to make that defensive testudo. Oh, there we go. That should be nice. See how effective that is. Coming. My ballista defense will make short work of them, hopefully. A club levy. It's like the worst Germanic unit you can have. Yeah, look at that, they're already routing. Of course, my velites are probably instrumental in making this. Club levy. And you do have a club. Not sure how well that goes when you're fighting legionnaires. Might as well speed up the fight. They did manage to make some fire. There we go, victory. For that. Still more comes. Hear that my velites are shooting a lot of javelin. which is contributing to wiping out many units of German. Goes pretty quickly. Look at that. A lot of enemies which just died there. And they haven't even yet received the oil from the gate.
Our gates are utterly destroyed.
The gates are destroyed. Press that advice. Yeah, make ready. They're coming. Expecting the traditional German rush. Yeah, I'm sure the cave did indeed give superpower. Transform a man into a superhero. The defensive Testudo seem to be holding a little better against the amount of German. Everybody's dying. But yeah, it's pretty quick. Killed 573 and I lost 27. Starting to wonder, how did those 27 guys died? Nobody saw that? Yeah, that went well. Yeah, indeed. Don't mess with superpower people with cape. I have my ally over here. Or am I, by the way? What is this place? Okay, one general died. I'm completely devastated by that.
Ready for orders.
Okay. I guess I will simply move into position to start a war with those guys and hopefully destroy them as fast as possible before they expand further.
Commander.
They're really like they captured that place. Why? Why did they have to go all the way there?
Commander.
Next turn I'll start a war with them. The only solution. The population happy now. Please be happy. Yes, cool they are. Time to move toward Germania.
To your duties, men.
And I will hopefully secure it. So there's still that army here, which is a danger for my settlement. Not settlement, but village. Having difficulty targeting the flag of my own troops there. Decided to pull back. Public happiness is high, so I can move toward my future enemy.
At your command.
Might as well move further into the land of my future enemy. I'm sure he doesn't mind. Well, here I will put myself in forced march. Where next turn I'll be able to capture probably 4 towns in 1 turn. And I guess after all this, I will turn my attention back to the Lucid Empire. Time to build temples here. Make the people happy.
We hunger hunger for battle.
And let's finish off that faction here.
None will escape.
Wow. Quite a balance of power right there.
Waiting for more orders.
I think if there was a number below 0 in terms of strength, there will be that. Would have been that battle. Time to dismantle everything. Will make me richer.
At your command.
Oh, there's still that army here, which I had not noticed. They will likely come and attack that down here, unless I actually make a force march all the way back to it. Yeah, that's perfect. So we can only hope that this army will attack me there. And then, how about here? I'll make a temple to convert the population to my culture. And here I will continue to move toward those towns, that region, which I will start a war with soon. Here, nothing. I guess now I'm just in the situation of probably securing Germania very soon. Finishing off this rebel faction here.
Your next command. Command.
There we go. That place is secure. About doing this. Perfect. Move this.
At your command. Commander.
Okay, next turn, I guess we'll have some fight. Can we get a naval battle? Maybe. I have a fleet which is heading somewhere. Totally forgot where. But they're starting to be in a region where there might be naval battle. Although it's unlikely to be anything special. I find a naval battle in this make no sense. Oh, another independent faction there, which I can conquer. Seems that my ally in Britain is really losing their territory, which I capture right after. Oh, there you go with the naval battle, but that's not a real. That's not worth fighting. So, oh, that's this faction is actually attacking all the town it can, because they do not have any more towns, so they're just trying to take back any territory possible. The Gallic Confederation is losing ground. Is playing in my favor. Yeah, naval and battle are pretty much a traffic jam, no question about that. It's a big mess which goes nowhere and end up into somebody being victorious.
Ready for battle.
Oh, the army that was right here, where did it go? Strange. Now let's take a good look at how it's going in the Empire. Diplomacy. Whoa, that faction seemed much stronger than expected previously. They are really spread out. So if I start a war here, I end up at war here. So it's not a good deal to attack those guys. Well, here these are a little weaker. They have 3 provinces. So that could play in my favor. Well, in that region here, I don't know who's having that. And you have 2 legion which are going there. We'll start a war with that faction here. I need to finish a war in that area here. Well, I actually took it down that region. They seem to have lost some terrain in England or Britannia. Here I will chase down the rebels and I'll make my way to capture the terrain that my ally lost. Go for that faction. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy this. This is live. But I must warn you, if you just join in, I probably will take a break soon because I've been doing that for how long now? Been 3 hours. So that's quite a long broadcast. And as you can see, starting to lose voice. We'll pass out soon. Don't worry. But I will recover. We'll make more of this. And I will attack this.
We take this settlement for Rome!
That will be a big battle. And I actually will stop the live broadcast now because it's time for a break, and I will keep that battle for the next episode, which we'll do live as well. So I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If there's any great battle we had in this one, make sure to point it out. And I'll see you later.